next steps to college and other vocational endeavors. Any questions?
I think everybody knows about the Rotary auction. It's an icon in our community, very well looked forward to. We've got a motion and a second. Is there any questions?
I got a question.
Fire away, Councilman Leal.
The Rotary Club is a 501c, correct?
It's pending, we're
pending,
working
sorry.
on that, yeah.
The challenge sometimes is, I know that we hear the nonprofit word, and I get it. Of the Rotary, I would say that none of these folks are making a dime off of events or anything. It's all volunteer work, and there's nobody making any money, if you will, off of it.
So all proceeds go to the school, or to the
100% scholarships.
scholarships?
Any other questions, council? If not, I've got a motion and a second. I'll call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you. All right, we're gonna move back to item 6D, city manager.
This one is,
This is our budget calendar.
Mayor, Council, I want to speak on this with our finance director.
where we at?
Budget calendar,
The budget calendar.
19.
And I will need some input on this, just a little bit of help on page 19 of the packet. We're, as the mayor mentioned, we are working on, we're working on the budget. I wanted to go over a couple of things. We would like to have a draft, again, we're talking a preliminary budget, not a proposed budget, preliminary budget to the council on Friday, February 30th. That's there. You see it, Mayor, on page 20? Oh, excuse me, June 30th, sorry. Sorry.
Okay.
And so, I'm not trying to throw y'all off there. So we'd like to get that delivered to you. I understand that's not a meeting, but we want to get you a packet by that Friday. So what we're doing, we're proposing is allowing you to review it. That weekend, I'm sure y'all will be hard in studying the budget, the proposed, the preliminary budget. We are gonna go over, July 6th. Did we talk about changing that? We didn't talk about that, did we? To discuss the budget, with the council. So we have that scheduled for the 6th. That's on a Thursday. That will be a city council meeting. That's Thursday, July 6th. So we're asking for that meeting. What I would need some input back from the council. We are gonna meet after we hear your input, on that day of the 6th. We are gonna use the 7th and 17th of July to make additional revisions or changes to the budget. I'm asking on that right now we have our request and what we're recommending, but during that time on the 6th, I would like to hear, even before, hear something from the city council regarding any additional requests you may have as council members. So I'd like to include that, and so we'll be working on the budget July 7th to the 17th. The one change we would like to see, and I'd like for y'all to recognize this, is Monday, July 31st. That would be as opposed to Tuesday. Monday, July is a special city council meeting, and the reason for that is because our bond council will be here for the sale of the bonds on that day, so I hate to have a 2-day meeting, so we could all knock both things out on the Monday, July 31st, as opposed to Tuesday, August the 1st. That would work better to square all that away. So what I would like to get some council input is on the anything after Tuesday, August the 8th, budget workshops, August 9th and the 28th. Dates and times preferably, we all want to keep it on a certain date, certain time for,
A question, just thinking about this, city manager, perhaps on July the 6th, when we meet for that meeting, it's just gonna be for the budget, it's just gonna be the budget, there'll be really very little other.
that's correct.
What if we had a workshop before, or schedule a workshop before or after that, so we could go over the budget together? I'll compile each of your agenda items, and so would you be amenable to doing that, especially if the line item is really just to go over the budget? We schedule a we receive the budget, schedule a workshop, and then we can go over that with the city manager, sit down together. What do you think about that? Okay.
Y'all wanna do that on the Thursday the sixth, Mayor, before that?
I think when we get the original, the sixth, right, I mean,
The preliminary budget, I would like to have your items or propose, whatever, by sometime on the sixth.
Before.
Preferably before the sixth.
Before that?
Yes.
our agenda items, well, I can compile what they've provided and give those to you, would that give you?
However it is, I would like to have that, the supporting documentation for all the requests, so I can have a clear understanding of
Okay.
what all the requests are, so yes, we can get that together. We will have a packet out to you, again, with the staff, or our request by Friday, June 30th, so we'll have something out to you, we'll make revisions as we can, as we will.
So really, you'd like something before June 30th, kind of, okay. I'll compile what you guys give to me, and then I'll get that to the city manager, council. Okay, all right. I'll get it to you before the 30th.
There's nothing's gonna cost anything, right? No.
I think I heard something like double all the expenditure, no, just kidding.
That's, but in saying that, on the budget hearings, you gotta remember, the budget workshops, we normally broke that down. I asked Chris, I think it was 2 days of budget workshops, maybe two, I think we had, a day for general fund, and the other day for utilities.
Correct.
Did we have 2 or 3 meetings for that? I don't know.
Right here.
3 meetings?
We did break down, I believe it was general fund and the utilities. The other day was, admin,
The hotel funds?
correct?
Hotel fund, so I would ask on that, and council, you look from August 9th through the 28th to see what days y'all may be able to, what y'all's preference are as far as meeting date. Any preference? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Any day but Monday and Friday.
Friday? Okay, so Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday?
Of what week?
That'll be sometimes between the 9th and the 28th. We'll schedule those meetings, to get the workshops, and we'll try to spread it out. But y'all wanna get it all done in 1 week, or do y'all wanna spread it out in months, so we can do, maybe we could do it in 2 weeks as far as workshops, whatever y'all's preference. Okay.
So we're up to two.
So we'd like to get the budget approved by the 12th of September, we'll shoot for that. Tax rates, we'll be working on that now, give you a preliminary tax rate. We'll have an item July for, water rate increases, but those won't take effect until 10/1. That'll be, some of the discussions we had, in the prior meetings. So we'll bring that ordinance to you with revisions, at the next, in our meeting in July. Aside from that, let's make sure we get the budget approved by September 30th, and that's the goal. So, anything else?
Just keep those dates fresh on your mind, and Fred will update us on any changes or additions there too, and we'll keep you guys posted. All right, thank you, Fred, for your hard work on that, and James, and the department head recognize all y'all's support and work on that. All right, I'm gonna ask, as we move into our public hearing, that we have item 7A, 7E, and 7H all at the same time. It is a public hearing for 3 particular conditional use permits, where we open that. So that being the case, I am now calling for an open hearing for a request for a conditional use permit for Brenda Elizondo to place a 25 by 56 2023 manufactured home on her property on North Roosevelt. I'm requesting open hearing for a conditional use permit for Misael in that, to place a 25 by 72 2023 manufactured home on his property located at 1602 Chaparral Road. And I'm requesting a conditional use, open public hearing for a conditional use permit from Juanita Gonzalez to place a 28 by 72 2023 manufactured home on her property located at the Develis property, zoned A-O. At this time, we are open. It is 7:53. Okay, City Secretary, the floor is yours.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The Planning and Zoning Commission was able to convene yesterday at 5:30 p.m. They did not foresee any problems with these requests or anything like that. Everything was approved. No stipulations, no recommendations, everything was approved.
No negative feedback?
No negative comments, we received no phone calls, we received no letters, absolutely nothing with these.
And they did everything that was required.
Correct.
And that's all within 250 feet, right?
200 feet adjacent to the property.
200 feet.
Correct, 200 feet adjacent to the property.
We are in an open meeting, so is there anyone in the public that would wish to make a statement?
We do also, I just want to piggyback. Ms. Brenda, she is over here off of Roosevelt Street, Road, there are mobile homes that are already there. Ms. Juanita Gonzalez, she is at the corner, I believe, of Willow and Ward. Same thing, mobile homes out there, and then, for Ms. Juanita on DeVille Fifth, next day, same thing. It's her family that's next door, they're all mobile homes as well.
I want to say something. That's the same, Roosevelt is, for Brenda Elizondo?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
That's the same, she's our neighbor, and that's exactly where I want to put my mobile home, that I just asked for the permit. You refused to put me on the agenda, and that's exactly where we're selling the half an acre for the other, customers that are gonna bring a brand new mobile home, manufactured home. And we were denied also, after she had already told us yes. So I don't see the difference. They're asking us to do a 6-inch pipe, they're not requiring them that. And they're asking us for a specific road, they're not required to do that either. So I don't see the difference.
The city secretary, you have any comments?
Mr. Hicks, you wanna add anything?
No, again, I think I've explained in, with the discussion, there's, again, when you start tracking pieces of land out, you're having 8 to 9 tracts of land that are looking to develop something. Again, the implication is when you when you cut a big parcel out, a lot of times you're not cutting it just for the sake of cutting. What I mean by that is you're separating those tracts, there's potentially some development. What that development is, I don't know. And to her point, I believe we're doing the same thing to another developer. He wants to build 10 homes, and guess what? You're bringing the infrastructure. You're bringing,
So-
putting in water, sewer, all of that. What the difference is these folks, some of these folks came in with individual tracts. And again, to be clear, all of these come to city council for approval. Again, it's conditional use. The council at any point could say, we don't wanna do this. That's the condition that you allow for current applicants, future applicants.
Mayor,
Yes,
so Fred,
Councilman
can
Leon.
you, the reason why we're requiring a 6-inch line is because it's going to be, the property is being developed for multi-family use. On 8,
I think it's 8, 9 tracts. I mean,
It's 8 tracks.
Okay, but can you explain me the difference between the area where Ms. Barajas lives, where her son put a manufactured home? She has 1 tract for Nicole, 1 acre, 1 acre for the other person that just put a manufactured home, another acre for Elizondo, and then there's another acre in behind that one. What's the difference with dividing that tract, making it into 2 tracts, from us dividing 7 acres? I wanna know the difference on that.
Norma has been there from the beginning of time since she was married. She parceled off a piece of her property for her son in the front. As far as in the back, whenever she tracked it, Ms. Brenda Elizondo has owned that property for at least 2 to 3 years. And she had contacted us again a year or 2 ago. She asked for an address. Again, we did the same thing. What is your intended use for the property? Are you gonna build a home? Are you gonna go ahead and use it for livestock? Or are you gonna go ahead and put a manufactured home? She wasn't sure at the time. So she said, you know what, whenever I figure it out, I'll go ahead and I'll come back, and then we can go ahead and go from there. So when she approached Ms. Jessie about maybe a month and a half ago, she went ahead and she said, we're gonna do a manufactured home. This is what we're gonna do. She provided every required documentation, septic, year, make, model, serial number, deed to the property, site plan, everything, where the mobile home's gonna go placed, where the septic is gonna be placed. So she provided all of that. She was able to get on the agenda last month.
Okay, and
Do you
so,
want me to touch into the conversation that was had?
okay, and what, the item on the agenda is an open discussion about 3 particular homes, and so my question is, Is there any comment from the floor regarding favorability or unfavorability for any of these three pieces of property? And that would be a yes or a no. Hearing none, I'm gonna ask that we close this, session. Okay. It is now 7:59. Moving on to the next item. We're gonna take each one of these, on item 9. Oh, excuse me, we got item 8A, this is discuss and consider minutes from the May 16th, 2023 special meeting. This is a consent item. Should have looked that over. Council, I need a motion to second and approve.
So-
Any questions?
We're gonna discuss and then make the motion or just make?
Yeah, we need a motion and approval. This is a consent item, for approving the special meeting from May 16th, 2023. I need a motion and a second.
Well, I have no discussion as far as the minutes, so I'm just gonna make a motion to go
Yeah,
ahead and approve it.
That's what we need. Need a motion by Councilman Leal. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Hernandez. Is there any additions or corrections? Got to approve? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye. Motion passes unanimously. All right, thank you. All right, moving on to item 9A. We'll take each one by itself. These all in item 9 are action items. Item 9A, discuss and consider ordinance number 2023-0601, allowing the placement of a 28 by 56 2023 manufactured home on Brenda Elizondo's property. Council, what's your pleasure?
All
Council?
requirements that were required, that were asked for, that was initially set forth by council, by ordinances, by everything was met.
Correct, sir. Setback requirements, everything like that, it's been done. There's no sewer off of Roosevelt, so we do require septic and all that stuff. That, of course, is handled with, Frio County. They're the authority over septic. And again, we received no negative responses from anyone.
And council, I know there is a desire, I think it's like what we've talked about, to address this issue, where we need to draw the line. I think perhaps before we draw that line, we need to have a town hall meeting, we need to bring the public in, we need to discuss why it is that we're doing that. We have established a precedence with this in the past, and we recognize that we need to discuss it. So I would just ask you guys to consider that,
Yes.
to allow the citizens to come and give us some feedback, and we tell them why we're doing what we're doing. But with that being said, it's your decision. What's your decision on item 9A?
And I concur with you, Mayor. I'm one that's advocating, what's, further down on the agenda. I would like to see more homes built, but at this point, we've set precedents. And I am going to make a motion to approve ordinance number 2023-06-01.
Okay, we have a motion on the table. We have a second.
Second.
I have a second by Councilwoman Trevino. Is there any questions? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Going on to item 9B, discuss and consider ordinance number 2023-0602, allowing for the placement of 28 by 72 2023 manufactured home on the property on 1602 Chaparral Road. You've heard the comments. Council, what's your pleasure?
I would make a motion to approve ordinance number 2023-06-02.
Got a motion on the table. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Trevino. Is there any questions? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye. Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to item 9C, discuss and consider ordinance number 2023-0603, allowing the placement of 28 by 72 2023 manufactured home on property locating at the DeVilbiss address. Council, what is your pleasure?
My pleasure is to go ahead and make a motion for ordinance number 2023-06-03.
Okay, we've got a motion on the table. We have a second. Second by Councilwoman Trevino. Are there any questions? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, council. Moving on to item 9D, discuss and consider authorizing the city manager to issue an invitation to bid for street improvements. This is an action item. We'll call for a motion.
There's no question. I'd like to make a motion to go ahead and approve this and give direction to give authorization to the city manager to issue an invitation for bids for street
Great.
improvements.
There's a motion. May I have a second? Second by Councilwoman Hernandez. You have any comments to make?
No, I think the council knows the street, I believe it's in the packet, if
It
you're
is.
aware, that that's the street where we put out the bid.
Okay, very good. We've got a motion to second. Is there any other questions? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Going on to item 9E, discuss and consider authorizing and directing the city manager and the city attorney to draft an ordinance to create a program for tax abatements and other incentives for newly constructed, a single-family home. This is an action item. I'm gonna call for a motion.
Okay, can we discuss, that way I could put some inputs?
Councilman, at your request, yes, we'll go over, call for a discussion.